What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim, back with another video. It has been a minute since I did a walk and talk, but I was like, you know what? I'm doing it today. The people have been asking for it. It's a beautiful day. There doesn't appear to be anybody on the sidewalk ahead of me for a while. I was like, I'm gonna turn the camera on, we're gonna talk. And today I wanted to talk about living the nomad life, okay? I wanted to talk about traveling full time, all right? This is something that I've been blessed to do for many years now, and I feel like it's been a while since I did a video talking about it. Because I want to make this video encouraging, I want to make it motivational for people who are thinking about living the nomad life and maybe don't have anybody else in their life who gives them any encouragement about it. Even though I do think the nomad life is becoming, I don't want to say mainstream, but I think people kind of have seen it around, okay? I think people know about van life. They know about living in RVs. They know about stuff like that now. So whereas a few years ago, if you told your family, hey, I wanted to start traveling full time, told your family, told your friends, they probably would have thought you were crazy, crazy, crazy. Now they just think you're crazy, okay? So it is getting a little more accepted, but I think it's still hard to find people in everyday life who do it and understand it. So as somebody who does it and understands it, I just want to say you're not crazy, okay? Some of us have a nomadic soul. I'm always telling my friends this. Some of us just have a nomadic soul and we just can't stay in one place long term, or we just don't feel 100% fulfilled when we stay in one place long term. And for a lot of people, I think, we think there's something wrong with us, or we think that's just one of those weird feelings. You know, sometimes in life you just get these weird urges and you just kind of push them aside. That's just something weird inside of me. I don't know what it is. But when it comes to nomad, now there are some of those urges you do need to push aside, some of the really weird ones. But when it comes to like nomading and traveling and not staying stationary in one place forever, I don't think you need to push that urge aside. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's normal. I just think it's who we are. I mean, most of our ancestors were nomadic, okay? Our ancestors didn't stay in one place. They traveled all around, right? That's why like their housing was typically like stationary. You bundled it up, you put it on the back of a yak, and you and you traveled for, 50 miles and you set up camp again. Now, of course, they were following the migratory patterns of animals and things, herds and things like that, but still, they traveled. And I think some of us still have that in us. And that's okay. The beauty of the times we live in now, even though everybody wants to talk about how bad the times are we live in now, the beauty of the times we live in now are that I think it's never been easier to travel full time. The GPS on your phone makes it so easy to road trip now. If you want to do van life or live in a vehicle, live in your car, live in an RV. I mean, all the apps on your phone that allow you to book Airbnbs and hotels make it so easy. I can't imagine living the life I live where, I'm staying in different hotels, I'm staying in different Airbnbs, even just the flights I take. I can't imagine doing all that stuff 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like I rely so much on my Fly Delta app that if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would do. If I didn't have Airbnb, I don't know what I would do. So I feel like we live in a time period where it's never been easier to nomad. Also, our devices and technology make it so much easier to stay in touch with friends and family when we are on the road. That is one of the big things a lot of people run into, especially if you're gonna solo nomad, is there is a little loneliness. You are alone a lot, but our devices allow us to call, FaceTime, text, anybody we want to, WhatsApp, anybody we want to all over the world. So it makes it so much easier to stay in touch. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a nomadic soul. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see the country or see the world. It still blows my mind that some people are content to like stay in one place, one city, one state forever. It blows my mind. I accept it though, that's their right, do what you want to do. But it just blows my mind. I'm like, I don't know, like I just love seeing different places and experiencing just new cities, or new small towns, or, new countries. When I travel outside the country, like it doesn't even have to be anything, when I travel, it doesn't have to be anything major. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't, for example, like look at these bushes right here. Look at those bushes right there. That fascinates me. I don't see bushes like that regularly. You know what I mean? Something little like that. When I'm walking by here, I'm like, wow, those are some cool bushes. I wonder if those were like indigenous to South Carolina. What are those? You know what I mean? Like just constantly seeing new stuff, constantly running into like new people, new situations, constantly having to figure out, you know, where to go next, and how to get there. All that stuff just is like life to me. It's life to me. That's like, you can do the same thing. Like today is a regular day for me. Okay, got up, you know, did the stuff I'm going to do a regular day. But since I'm in a place that I'm not all the time, it actually feels special. You know, I'm going to be here for about a month, so you know, every day kind of feels special because I'm not from here. And I think that's where a lot of people, even if they have lives that are okay or that are cool, after you've been living that life for 10 years, doing the same stuff, seeing the same stuff, driving the same roads, I feel like it gets old. You know what I mean? That's one thing I love about travel is even a mundane, regular day is kind of exciting because I'm somewhere new. You know, just getting breakfast. Well, y'all know I don't really eat breakfast, so you know, just getting lunch, just getting dinner is exciting when I'm somewhere new because I don't know the chicken wing spot here yet. Or even once I find the chicken wing spot, you know, I really enjoy them chicken wings because I know I'm not gonna have them but for a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, when you travel full time, when you nomad, it's like every day is an adventure. Not every day, but you know what I mean? Like more days are adventures than aren't. Whereas when I'm stationary, it's the exact opposite. When I'm stationary, and you know, like when I had my apartment in Denver for a while, even though that was cool, and I think I needed that to settle down for a little bit, but it got very boring. You know, my mental health really got bad, and I was really a lot of times like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point? You know, it just doesn't have that same, you know, feeling of being alive. You know, when I'm traveling, even on the bad days, even when the days when things don't go right and I have to figure stuff out, I feel alive. You know what I mean? Like I feel really, especially when I do figure it out, you know, I feel alive. I show up to a new place, you know, that I've never been before. Oh, it's amazing, you know? And if you're somebody who hasn't started traveling and these words are resonating with you, I implore you, just get out there and do it, you know? There are so many different ways to nomad. You can do it like me. I don't have a car. I sold my car and I just fly, take the train different places. I stay in, you know, hotels, Airbnbs, hostels from time to time. You know, that's what I do. I'm able to, thankfully, and I feel super blessed and grateful, I'm able to finance my travels with my online income, mainly YouTube. But there's so many other ways to do it. You can live in your car, you know, RVs, you know, I mean, just so many different, you can travel around, stay with friends. If you've got a lot of friends in a lot of different places, couch surfing is back. I've done seasonal work. I should say I still do seasonal work from time to time, which is basically you work at I work at like hotels and places like, you know, national parks, ski resorts, things like that. They give me a place to stay. It's included with my employment package, and some of them give you meals. So, you know, that's the way to do it. It's allowed me to see some awesome places like Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, spent years in Montana working at ski resort, off and on. Just allowed me to see some places I would have never been able to see and kind of soak up the area and the culture and the ambiance for a few months at a time. Because when you are traveling full time, sometimes you do want to take a little break and not have to deal with every week or every 2 weeks figuring out where to go. Seasonal work's a good option. But however you want to do it, I say do it. Like, it's possible. You know, it's not 1973 anymore. You don't have to be a millionaire to travel. You know, it is possible to find ways to finance your travels, travel on the road. There's a lot more remote work opportunities. Like I said, there's the internet. You might be able to work for a while, save up a bunch of money, take a sabbatical from work, travel full time for, you know, a year. I don't know. Like, my whole thing in this video is just to say, like, it is possible. It is an amazing way of life. I think you will enjoy it, and I think for some of us, excuse me, I think it's necessary. You know, oh, I thought my camera was about to fall. For some of us, I think it's necessary. You know, I think some of us have a nomadic soul, and that's just an itch we're gonna have to scratch, especially as we get older. I found too that, yeah, when I was younger, I was cool with being where I was at, doing what I was doing. But as I got older, when I got in like my mid 30s, like, I just couldn't do it no more. You know, I just something switched to me, and I was like, I was put in this country, and I've only seen like 3 states. You know what I mean? Let alone the world. You know, America is a huge country, and I'm able to freely travel all throughout it. And by the age of like 34, I'd only been to 3 or 4 states. That's crazy. I'm like, am I really gonna just grow old and die and not see my my home country? You know what I mean? Like, am I really gonna do that? And like I said, if that's what people wanna do, cool. But I was like, I don't wanna do that. Like, when people talk about America, I wanna actually be able to weigh in on the conversation because I've seen America. I don't just want other people to tell me what California's like or what Texas is like, all these other places. I've been to those places, so you can't tell me now. But you know what I mean? I just wanted to see more, learn more, you know? And I really think it's possible for all of us to do that in this day and age. If you take the time, you do the research. It starts with believing you can do it, obviously. But I think if you take the time, you do the research, we all can live the nomad life. Anyway, I think I've come to a weird intersection here, and I'm about to get hit by a car, so I'm gonna talk to y'all later.